What's up, y'all? Toya here, and I am back with another delivery video for y'all. Before we even get into the video, make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe, share. But listen, this one is gonna be a little different. I'm gonna go ahead and narrate everything that you see on screen for a couple of reasons. I'm actually recording this intro after the fact. Usually I record it before, but a lot transpired during this delivery, as you can see by the title. But yeah, first off, as you can see, this is a delivered order. It's a catering order. So we had to pick up from Outback Steakhouse, and we had to go ahead and actually deliver it to a hospital in Indiana. Now, I typically wouldn't pick up an order like this just because the distance I actually have to travel to get to the restaurant was a little bit further than my liking, but I want to go ahead and get a little bit more experience, so I was willing to go ahead and take it. Now, we received $25 for this order, and we had to drive a little over 7 miles from the pickup location to the drop-off. All right, now that we've gotten that out of the way, let me go ahead and get into the nitty-gritty, the details of everything that happened, okay? So right off the bat, like I mentioned, I had a little bit of distance to drive from where I was located to get to the actual pickup location. I'm driving, I pull off, and I noticed that my car is not really accelerating the way that it typically does, and I didn't see anything on my dash. I didn't see any indicators of anything being wrong. So I was like, okay, maybe it's a little chilly out, maybe it's just taking a minute for it to warm up. So I'm like halfway to the pickup point, and my check engine light flashes on my dash and then disappears in like literally not even 5 seconds. So I'm like, oh boy, here we go. I'm like, all right, I'm literally in the middle of doing this delivery. I can't just straight up cancel. I mean, I can, stuff happens, but I didn't want to cancel. So I was like, you know what, it's not too far. I'm literally like 5 minutes from the pickup spot. Let me just go ahead and pick it up. I'll go drop it off. Boom, we'll be in and out, right? So I get to the restaurant. I didn't want to turn my car off. So I happen to go and look in the back and listen to the exhaust, and it sounds like this. At this point, my check engine light is still off, okay? So I go into the restaurant. They were just opening, but they were nice enough to go ahead and actually let me in and sit there while I waited. I waited maybe like 10, 15 minutes. Got the food, went ahead and loaded up my car. So I'm en route on my way to go ahead to the drop-off location. And I'm on the phone with my husband, letting him know, like, hey, this is what's going on. I might have to drop my car off, blah, 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 this and that. So get there, no problem. Still having that issue with the accelerating, but no check engine light or anything. So I get to the location. It's a hospital. So I'm following the GPS. It's telling me, all right, go to this location. And I pull up to the valet guy. I'm like, hey, can I leave my car right here? I got to go drop off some food. I'm going to be in and out. He's like, yeah. Go ahead, pull up. So I go ahead and I pull up. I park. I go ahead and get my wagon out. I go get the food. I'm putting everything in my cart, right? Meanwhile, I'm having some difficulty with my body cam. For some reason, it just fell off and fell into the box. So I had to get the body cam, put it back on my harness. After I got that situated, go ahead and walk in. Hello. A quick question. I have a delivery for 40A for Mike. Is this the correct elevator?
It's for what?
Mark for 40 or 400A. Suite 400A.
Okay, that's for like a doctor?
I don't know. This is just a catering order.
Okay, 400A, that's on the other side of the hospital. It's entrance D as in David. Where the parking garage is, where the overpass connects to the building. Okay. It's right there. Okay. All right. Thank you. I'm talking to the guy, and I'm telling him where I need to go, and he's like, oh, yeah, no, you're in the wrong building. It's actually this building over here. So I'm like, okay. I go ahead, come back out, get back in my car, put everything back in, and drive around. I go to the building he's referring to because he said it's going to be next to the parking garage. And I'm looking, I'm like, this number to this building is not matching what's in the app. So I'm like, okay, maybe he meant this building that's next to it over here. It was the emergency room. So I unload my car again, and I went ahead and put each individual container in my cart, because at the time I just had like this big box that Outback gave me, and it was kind of lopsided. I'm like, you know what? Let me just go ahead and put every individual thing into the wagon, and I can just take everything in from there, right? So I pull up into the emergency room and walk in. Hi, is this 901 McCarthy? Sorry. Okay, because I'm supposed to drop off a catering order. It just says Suite 400A. Mike. Attract. Suite 400A. Yeah. Which building? Damn, this isn't the building?
Okay, because I'm trying to call him and he's not even answering. Like, can I navigate through here? Okay. And I asked the lady, I'm like, hey, I'm here to drop off a catering order for such and such, right? And this is a suite number. And, you know, going back and forth. And she's like, well, no, this isn't it. This is the emergency room. I'm like, okay, but I mean, is there a way that I can get to where I need to get to from here? Because she was saying that I have to go to the building behind this building. And I'm like, okay, so maybe it is that building, even though the numbers didn't match, whatever, right? So I'm asking her, I'm like, is there a way that I can connect? Like, the buildings connect there? Because I'm not familiar with this hospital at all, right? So I'm like, so instead of me going back outside and walking all the way around, because at this point, like I said, I've unloaded that box. All of the stuff is in my cart. So I'm like, I'm not gonna go ahead, put everything back in my car, and you know, then I gotta fold the wagon up and then drive back over. So I'm like, you know, I'm just trying to get to where I need to get to, right? And she kind of had an attitude, so I'm like, okay, whatever. So ended up walking around the building. It wasn't too far of a walk. I had to go uphill. I go to this building that is not matching what I was told on the app as far as where I need to go. So I think I had to go to 901 and this building was 801. I'm like, okay, let me walk in here, ask the guy, hey, I'm supposed to go to this suite. Is this where I'm supposed to be? And he's like, oh yeah, just go ahead and take elevator 4 or take the elevator to the fourth floor. I'm like, okay, so clearly this information as far as where I need to go was not accurate. So I follow the signs. I'm like, okay, I see where I gotta go. Then in the process of me walking to the location, my body cam decided it wanted to have more malfunction and one of the clips actually snapped. So it completely snapped off. So the body cam has 2 hinges. I have it hinged in the back and in the front just so it's stable. If I have it on just one, it might, you know, move a little bit to the side, maybe a little lopsided. So I have it on both. So I'm like, let's see if I can make it work. And I wasn't really sure how the footage would look until I went and checked it, and it's still fine. So I think mostly everything's labeled. Some of it started to wipe off a little bit, but I think everything that's stacked is the same.
They're like a box lunch.
I guess, yeah. So, oh, you weren't aware of the order?
No, our boss just told us.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yummy. Would you like me to help you, or?
I got it. It's pretty much almost done. Yeah, it's not heavy or anything, so. Okay. Need to take a picture. I get in, I go ahead and set everything up, put everything on the table, take the picture, and then boom, I'm out, right? So at this point, I'm thinking, cool, we're good. I need to maybe, you know, call some people, see who can go look at this car. Tell me why. The moment I get in my car, literally, I cranked my car because I had turned it off at that time. Went ahead and cranked my car, and first thing it does, bing! Check engine light. So I'm like, okay. So I'm looking to see where I'm at. I'm like, all right, it's going to take me 20 minutes to get to where I need to be. Let's just hope that I can make it and this thing doesn't stall out. And I tell you, man, I was struggling to get to where I needed to be. What should have taken like 20 minutes for a drive, it took me like 30. And that's just because I was not able to accelerate the way I needed to. I would literally press on the gas and I just feel my car struggling. I can feel the engine just like shaking. And then when I'm idle, the whole car, you can just feel it shaking. So I'm like, okay. So I'm actually sitting in my car right now as I'm waiting to, you know, get a ride so I can drop this thing off and get it looked at. So hopefully it's nothing too crazy. I had an Amazon shift scheduled for today as well, and clearly that's not gonna happen. So we're gonna call it a day with this delivery video from Dlivrd. I was just a little bit upset. It was a lot of stuff that just happened. It just seemed like it went wrong. Like I said, the delivery itself, the person, when I was trying to figure out where I needed to go, I was also calling them. I called them like 2 or 3 times and they weren't answering. It was just going straight to voicemail. And then the people, me going to the front desk to go ahead and see if I can get some more information, they're not really giving me clear instructions. And I'm telling them like, well, this is where where, you know, it's telling me where I need to be. Is this the correct building? You know, and they're like, well, no, it's this one or whatever. You know, it was just a little frustrating there. And the delivery itself, I was supposed to be there at 11:30, and I got there like 11:23, so I got there on time, but I didn't actually leave until like 11:50. It took me over 20 minutes just to find out where I needed to go. So this was not my best delivery, and this is only my second delivery that I've done with Dlivrd. They need to, maybe this was just that one odd one where it was just kind of, you know, stuff happened as far as getting incorrect information from the customer it's requesting and all of that. It was just I don't know. And like I said, with that combination of that and in the car, it was not a good delivery for me. Like literally, the last thing you would want to happen if you're in the middle of doing a delivery is you having car trouble. And like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get this car checked out and see what's going on. You know, hopefully we can be back on the road within another day or two. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here, y'all. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, I'll catch y'all on the next one. And as always, guys, stay safe out there and keep grinding.